Jonathan Mingo is a wide receiver out of Ole Miss. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. He was underutilized or under-targeted in a lot of the games that I watched. A lot of different alignments out of him, although he is used primarily out of the slot as a wideout. They line him up at times behind the quarterback in the backfield, very often in a wing setting. As I mentioned, tons of motion with him. We'll start out looking at him in their offense in 11 personnel, where he is aligned as a wing, either in slot trips or slot twins, 2x2. One of the things you notice when you watch Todd Monken's offense at Georgia is all of his wide receivers block. He is an above average blocker. Here we see him aligned as a wing and an extra blocker, lead blocking to the side of this alignment. If nothing else, the fact that he is an above average blocker will make him that much more effective as a wideout. And the way that they choose to align him at Ole Miss, I think, will translate to the NFL. He's very comfortable, as I said, in the backfield, in motions, in setup as a wing, split zone blocker. We'll look at most of that. This is him again out of that gun near slot twins look. This is certainly not a positive play for him, but we're watching how he's used in this particular alignment, and he does get a chance to make up for this later in the game. Gets a step, the ball's underthrown. Looks like he gets one hand torn away. He's got to go up and get this football. He allows this to come down to his chest. Here he gets his redemption, again as a wing, this time slot trips alignment. Does get a step here. This play's set up for him. Does a good job watching this in. Like to see him use a stiff arm and finish that. Watch it again. He is a vertical threat. You can see here, he's very effective in selling an in-breaking route. This defender's going to drive on it. He's going to put his foot in the ground and just run by him. You see him outside occasionally, but his role in college overwhelmingly was as a big slot receiver. To me, he looks pretty fast in a straight line on tape. Frequently, he is motioned across the formation in order to block the backside end in split zone. His ability to do this consistently and effectively opens up the possibility of a constraint against that call where he leaks out and nobody takes him. Really nice play call to get him a score down in the red zone. Watch him bend this route inside and then above or over these picks or screens. I do see him as a threat in the red zone because of his size, but also he does show some shake against press and some ability to beat that. Watch him run up on the feet of the defender. As he puts this foot in the ground, you see the defender open up slightly to that side. It beats him badly inside for the slant and the score. The release of this wing to the flat also has to catch the eyes of this defensive back. And given that Jonathan is such an effective blocker, that may give him pause here as well. Watch it again. Would not consider him an explosive open field runner or someone with a lot of make you miss, but he is targeted a lot on right now screens, tunnel screens, and does a nice job in short yardage situations. I do think he's a bit underrated in terms of his ability to beat man coverage at the line of scrimmage. Again, particularly down near the red zone. Notice as he plants that inside step right there, turns his helmet and his shoulder, leans his body inside. You'll see the defensive back really buy that and open up and end up flat-footed and way behind. Watch it again. Here he is on the outside. He is not a particularly crisp route runner. He's not asked to run a lot of variety in terms of his routes, but he does a nice job across the middle using his big frame to shield the defender from the ball. Generally reliable hands, but he does have some drops on tape. What I notice is they are often a product, and he does a nice job of sitting down in the zone here. They are a product of him turning his head, looking to run before he secures the football. This play is another example of him just trying to get upfield before he has the football secured. And this ends up as an interception. We'll look at one more play, but just to sum up, he looks like a guy that'll go in the third round if I'm guessing. He's good height, weight, versatile in alignment, a great blocker. He's got speed and ability to run by guys, and does show ability to beat press. Limited route runner, not asked to do a lot in college. Slants, crosses, screens, slot fade. There are a couple focus drops. In much of the tape that I've watched, he is a bit of a body catcher. I think he would be a nice piece in certain offenses, certainly the Ravens, where they're going to value a guy that blocks as well as he does. I don't see him as just another Miles Boykin third-round pick. I think he's a notch above that, and I think he's got upside as well. And as I said earlier in the video, I think he was underutilized as a pass catcher at Ole Miss. I think there's a chance he could make a greater impact as a pass catcher in the pros. We'll finish off the video more or less where we started, with him at wing, slot twins. You can see the nickel covering him out of the backfield. Does a great job just taking him out of the play.